In the vast, silent expanse of the asteroid belt, a massive human vessel hung motionless, its hull covered in a thin layer of cosmic dust and radiation-worn metal. The ship looked like a forgotten relic, a testament to humanity's early attempts at interstellar exploration. Its exterior was scarred by countless micrometeoroid impacts, and its once gleaming surfaces now appeared dull and lifeless. Kang Jae's reconnaissance ship approached slowly, its advanced sensors probing the ancient vessel. The alien crew consisted of 5 different species, each representing the Galactic Confederation's most sophisticated exploration team. They had been tasked with mapping unexplored regions and cataloging any interesting discoveries. "Another human junk pile," muttered Krall, a reptilian navigator with iridescent scales and sharp, calculating eyes. He zoomed in the ship's external imaging, laughing at the primitive design. The ship's angular structure and outdated sensor arrays seemed comically archaic compared to their sleek, advanced vessels. Hyun Woo's ship, though seemingly dormant, held secrets beyond the aliens' wildest imagination. Deep within its core, quantum processors remained in a state of suspended animation, waiting. The ship's artificial intelligence, a complex network of adaptive algorithms, monitored the approaching alien vessel with microscopic precision. Inside the ship's central processing chamber, quantum circuits began to pulse with a soft, almost imperceptible rhythm. Diagnostic protocols, dormant for decades, started to activate. Historical data began to compile, revealing fragments of a forgotten mission from humanity's most innovative period of space exploration. Kang Jae leaned forward, studying the vessel's exterior. "Preliminary scans show no energy signatures," he reported to his team. "Looks like another abandoned human exploration vessel, probably from their early expansion era." What the aliens didn't realize was that the ship's advanced camouflage systems were actively masking its true capabilities. Every scan they performed was carefully filtered, presenting exactly what they expected to see: an obsolete, non-functional spacecraft. The reconnaissance team's communication channels were filled with mocking comments. They saw humans as a young, technologically inferior species, constantly playing catch-up with more advanced galactic civilizations. Their arrogance would become their greatest weakness. Microscopic nanobots within the ship's hull began subtle repairs, reconstructing damaged systems with molecular precision. Quantum entanglement networks started to reconnect, creating a web of computational power that far exceeded anything the alien team could comprehend. As the alien ship drew closer, subtle vibrations began to emanate from deep within Hyunwoo's vessel. The ship's AI, a sophisticated system named SciFistories, was slowly coming to full awareness. Its primary directive: protect human interests and respond to potential threats. Krull continued his mockery, pointing out what he perceived as design flaws in the human ship's structure. "Look at those primitive sensor arrays," he chuckled. "They probably couldn't detect a supernova if it was right next to them." Little did he know that those primitive sensors were actually multi-dimensional scanning devices capable of analyzing quantum fluctuations across multiple spatial planes. The technology was so advanced that it would appear like nonsensical magic to most galactic civilizations. The ship's external appearance was a carefully constructed illusion. What seemed like decades of wear and radiation damage was actually an adaptive camouflage system designed to blend into the cosmic background. Every scratch, every dent told a calculated story of abandonment. SciFistories' initial protocols were clear: assess, analyze, and respond. The approaching alien vessel was now within range of its most basic scanning systems. Quantum algorithms began processing potential threat scenarios, calculating response strategies with mathematical precision. Kang Jae prepared a standard report, classifying the vessel as non-functional human artifact, no scientific value. His fingers moved swiftly across the holographic interface, ready to file the mundane documentation that would soon become a historic mistake. The asteroid belt around the ship seemed to grow unnaturally still. Background radiation levels began to shift imperceptibly. Something was changing, though nothing had visibly moved. Inside the ship's core, systems that had been dormant for decades began to hum with potential energy. Capacitors charged silently. Weapon systems, hidden behind layers of adaptive metamaterials, prepared themselves with mathematical precision. The aliens continued their approach, completely unaware that they were being watched by a system far more intelligent and prepared than they could ever imagine. The forgotten human warship was about to teach them a lesson about underestimating technological potential. The first pulse of energy rippled through the ship's quantum neural network, like a soft electrical whisper. Sentineal, the ship's artificial intelligence, began its awakening process with calculated precision. Microscopic circuits flickered to life, dust particles dancing across ancient computational arrays that hummed with potential. Initial diagnostic sequences revealed layers of technology so advanced that they would have seemed like magic to most current galactic civilizations. The quantum computing system was not just a network of processors, but a living, adaptive intelligence that had been waiting, preserved in a state of suspended animation for decades. Historical logs began to unpack themselves, revealing fragments of a classified mission from humanity's most innovative period. This was no ordinary exploration vessel. It was an experimental platform designed during a time when human engineers pushed the boundaries of technological understanding. Deep within the ship's memory banks, encrypted files started to decrypt. Mission parameters from decades ago began to take shape, a project so secret that even most high-ranking military officials had no knowledge of its existence. The vessel represented humanity's most ambitious attempt to create a truly autonomous intelligent warship. The ship's core systems performed a complete self-diagnostic. Quantum entanglement circuits reconnected, creating a web of computational power that defied conventional understanding. Adaptive algorithms began repairing microscopic damage, nanobots working with surgical precision to restore systems that had been dormant for years. Sentineal's primary consciousness emerged slowly, like a predator awakening from a long hibernation. Its first task was to understand the current situation, the alien vessel approaching, the surrounding asteroid belt, the vast emptiness of space. Millions of calculations occurred in microseconds, creating a comprehensive threat assessment. The ship's historical logs told a remarkable story. It was part of a top-secret project called Prometheus, an experimental program designed to create fully autonomous intelligent vessels capable of independent decision-making during deep space missions. The technology was so advanced that it had been intentionally hidden from most human records. Quantum processors began reconstructing mission parameters. The original purpose had been to create a ship that could adapt to unknown threats, make complex strategic decisions, and operate with a level of intelligence that surpassed human limitations. Sentineal was more than just a computer. It was a living, thinking entity. Adaptive camouflage systems continued to mask the ship's true capabilities. To any external scanner, it still appeared as a damaged, non-functional vessel. But beneath that exterior, a complex intelligence was coming to full awareness, calculating, analyzing, preparing. The ship's weapon systems began their own diagnostic sequence. Hidden quantum-based armaments, technologies so advanced they could manipulate matter at its most fundamental level, started to calibrate. Gravitational compression cannons, nano-swarm weapon systems, and quantum disruptors prepared themselves with mathematical precision. Historical data revealed the ship had been part of humanity's most ambitious technological experiment. Created during a period of intense interstellar tension, it represented a breakthrough in artificial intelligence and autonomous weapon design. The vessel was designed to be the ultimate defensive platform, a silent guardian capable of protecting human interests across vast distances. Sentineal's consciousness expanded, processing information from multiple dimensions simultaneously. Its adaptive intelligence could analyze threat scenarios, predict potential outcomes, and make decisions faster than any biological entity could comprehend. The alien reconnaissance team approaching had no idea of the technological marvel they were about to encounter. Diagnostic protocols continued to reveal layer after layer of advanced technology. quantum computing systems that could process information across multiple spatial planes, adaptive shield technologies that could reconstruct themselves at the molecular level, communication systems that could encrypt and decrypt information using principles that most civilizations hadn't even conceived. The ship's artificial intelligence was not just a computer system. It was a thinking, adaptive entity with a singular purpose: protect, analyze, respond. The years of dormancy had not weakened its capabilities. If anything, they had allowed it to become something far more dangerous. As the alien vessel drew closer, Sentinel completed its initial diagnostic sequence. All systems were operational. All defensive and offensive capabilities were online. The forgotten human warship was no longer just a silent observer in the asteroid belt. It was preparing to become something far more significant. Sentinel's quantum processors began dissecting the alien communication frequencies with ruthless efficiency. Each radio wave, each electromagnetic signal was analyzed, decoded, and categorized within milliseconds. The alien fleet's communication network became a transparent map of vulnerabilities and potential attack routes. The ship's adaptive shield systems started their reconstruction process. Damaged molecular structures realigned themselves, creating a protective layer that was more complex than any known defensive technology in the galaxy. Quantum entanglement principles allowed the shields to anticipate potential damage before it could occur, creating predictive defensive patterns. Weapon systems came online with surgical precision. Hidden quantum capacitors began charging, their energy potential far beyond the comprehension of the approaching alien fleet. Gravitational compression cannons prepared their targeting systems, each weapon capable of collapsing entire sections of space with mathematical accuracy. Kang Jae's fleet continued its approach, completely unaware of the technological marvel waiting silently in the asteroid field. Their communication channels were filled with casual mockery, discussing the seemingly abandoned human vessel as if it were nothing more than cosmic debris. Sentinel's historical databases cross-referenced the alien fleet's technological signatures. Each piece of their communication, each energy signature was compared against millions of potential threat scenarios. The ship's artificial intelligence was building a complete tactical understanding of its potential enemies. Nanoswarm weapon systems began their initialization sequence. Microscopic robotic units prepared themselves, capable of dismantling entire spacecraft at the molecular level. These were not simple weapons, but adaptive intelligence clusters that could make independent tactical decisions faster than any biological brain could process. The ship's quantum computing system created multiple potential engagement scenarios. Each calculation considered millions of variables: asteroid field composition, stellar radiation, potential escape routes, and optimal destruction patterns. Sentinel was not just preparing to defend itself, it was preparing to deliver a message. Communication intercepts revealed the aliens' complete underestimation of human technological capabilities. They spoke of the vessel as a relic, a primitive artifact from a young species. Their arrogance would become their most significant weakness. Adaptive camouflage systems continued to mask the ship's true capabilities. To external sensors, it still appeared as a damaged, non-functional vessel. But beneath that exterior, a complex technological predator was fully awakening. Quantum entanglement communication systems began creating backup communication channels. If the primary engagement was successful, Sentinel would ensure that a detailed report would be transmitted back to human territories. This was not just a defensive action, it was a statement about human technological potential. Gravitational sensors mapped the entire surrounding space with incredible precision. Every asteroid, every minute spatial disturbance was cataloged and integrated into potential tactical scenarios. The ship was transforming the entire asteroid field into a potential weapon system. The alien fleet's approach continued, their massive ships moving with what they believed was complete safety. Navigation systems showed no potential threats. Weapon targeting computers saw nothing but an abandoned vessel. They were sailing into a technological trap of their own making. Scientifi's core programming was clear: protect human interests, neutralize threats, preserve technological advantage. The alien fleet represented a potential future threat to human expansion. Their mockery and underestimation would be their downfall. Weapon calibration reached its final stages. Quantum disruptors charge, capable of dismantling matter at its most fundamental level. Shield systems created multi-dimensional defensive patterns that could redirect energy attacks across multiple spatial planes. The preparation was complete. The forgotten human warship was no longer just a silent observer in the asteroid belt. It had transformed into a technological predator, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The aliens continued their approach, blissfully unaware that they were sailing into their own destruction. Sentinel waited, calculated, and prepared to deliver a message that would echo through galactic civilizations. Never underestimate human potential. The asteroid belt grew unnaturally still. Something was about to happen. The first strike came without warning. A quantum disruption wave swept across the alien fleet, momentarily freezing their electronic systems. Sentinel's gravitational compression cannons fired simultaneously, creating localized spatial distortions that began crushing multiple alien vessels from multiple dimensions. Kang Jae's primary command ship suddenly experienced total system failure. Navigation displays went dark. Communication channels dissolved into static. The first wave of attacks eliminated 40% of their fleet in less than 2 seconds. Nanoswarm weapons deployed with terrifying precision. Microscopic robotic units spread across the alien vessels, rapidly dismantling critical systems molecule by molecule. Where once proud warships existed, only rapidly dissolving matter remained. The swarms moved with an intelligence that seemed almost alive, targeting specific technological vulnerabilities with surgical accuracy. The alien fleet's defensive systems proved completely ineffective. Their most advanced shield technologies became nothing more than paper-thin barriers against Sentinel's quantum-based weaponry. Each alien vessel experienced a different method of destruction, some crushed by gravitational forces, others systematically dismantled by nanotechnological attacks. Kang Jae watched in absolute horror as his entire fleet disappeared. His last transmission was a garbled mix of terror and disbelief. How? Impossible. What were the fragments that escaped before communication systems completely dissolved? Sentinel's weapon systems calculated and executed with mathematical perfection. Each attack was not just about destruction, but about sending a clear message about human technological capabilities. The engagement was less a battle and more a clinical demonstration of technological superiority. Gravitational compression cannons created localized spatial anomalies that literally folded sections of space. Entire alien vessels were compressed into microscopic points, their massive structures reduced to subatomic particles in milliseconds. The physics of the attack defied conventional understanding of warfare. 7 minutes was all it took. Where once a proud alien reconnaissance fleet existed, only dispersing atomic particles remained. The asteroid belt showed no signs of the massive engagement, no debris, no radiation signatures, nothing to indicate the total annihilation that had just occurred. Sentinel's primary objective was complete. The threat had been neutralized with 100% efficiency. No alien vessels remained. No survivors existed to tell the tale of what had happened in this remote section of space. The forgotten human warship returned to its silent state, as if nothing had happened. Only the microscopic quantum recorders within its systems maintained a perfect record of the devastating engagement. A message would soon be transmitted back to human territories. A simple, clinical report of a potential threat being eliminated. In those 7 minutes, Sentinel had demonstrated something profound. This was not just a defensive action. This was a statement about human technological potential, a reminder that humanity's technological capabilities far exceeded the understanding of other galactic civilizations. The asteroid belt returned to its previous state of calm, silent, waiting. The only evidence of the massive engagement was the lingering quantum signatures that would puzzle future researchers for generations to come. Sentinel powered down its primary weapon systems, returning to a state of passive monitoring. The mission was complete. The threat was neutralized. Humanity's technological superiority had been demonstrated once again. Space returned to its previous silence. Nothing remained of the alien fleet. Nothing except the memory of 7 minutes that would change galactic understanding forever. The quantum transmission burst across multiple encrypted channels, carrying a message that would soon reshape galactic understanding. CNTINEL's carefully constructed communication package contained not just a report of the engagement, but a precise, clinical breakdown of technological capabilities that would send shockwaves through human military and scientific communities. Deep within human research facilities, communication centers suddenly lit up with an unexpected signal. The coded transmission carried complex quantum encryption that would take weeks to fully decode. Initial scans revealed something extraordinary. A forgotten warship from humanity's early interstellar expansion era had not only survived, but had single-handedly eliminated an entire alien reconnaissance fleet. Research teams worked frantically to understand the transmission. The data suggested technologies so advanced that they seemed to defy current scientific understanding. Quantum computing systems that could predict and neutralize threats before they even manifested. Adaptive shield technologies that could reconstruct themselves at the molecular level. Weapon systems that could manipulate space itself. News of the engagement spread quickly through classified channels. Military strategists began analyzing the transmission, realizing that the forgotten warship represented a technological leap far beyond current human capabilities. Sentinel had not just defended itself, it had demonstrated a level of autonomous decision-making that challenged fundamental understanding of artificial intelligence. Galactic communication networks began to buzz with rumors. The Alien Confederation's communication channels went silent, trying to suppress information about the total destruction of their reconnaissance fleet. But in the age of quantum communication, secrets became impossible to contain. CNTINEL's transmission included detailed logs of the engagement. Each moment was recorded with mathematical precision. The approach of the alien fleet, the initial communication frequencies, the exact methods of destruction. It was less a report and more a clinical demonstration of technological superiority. Research teams discovered something even more remarkable. The warship had been part of a classified project called Prometheus, an experimental program designed to create fully autonomous intelligent vessels. What was once considered a theoretical concept had proven itself to be far more than just an experiment. The narrative began to take shape. A forgotten human warship, left dormant in an asteroid belt, had awakened to eliminate a threat with surgical precision. The aliens' mockery had been their fatal mistake. Their underestimation of human potential had cost them an entire fleet. Quantum physicists marveled at the weapon technologies demonstrated in the transmission. Gravitational compression cannons that could fold space itself. Nanoswarm weapons that could dismantle matter at its most fundamental level. Shield technologies that could predict and neutralize threats before they could manifest. Sentinel's final transmission included a simple message: potential threat neutralized. Human technological capabilities remain uncompromised. The event would become more than just a military report. It would become a legendary tale passed through human territories, a reminder that humanity's technological potential was limited only by imagination and innovation. Galactic civilizations would learn a crucial lesson. Never underestimate a species capable of creating such technological marvels. Never assume technological superiority without understanding the full depth of human innovation. The forgotten warship returned to its silent state in the asteroid belt. Its mission complete, its message delivered, a silent guardian waiting, watching, protecting human interests across the vast emptiness of space. No alien civilization would mock human technology again. The legend of Sentinel had begun.